Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to review the science fiction mystery thriller film, Prometheus. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We post multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. An advanced humanoid alien race's spacecraft lands on a prehistoric planet, possibly Earth, millions of years ago. One of the aliens ingests a mysterious liquid, which causes its body to fall apart and into a nearby waterfall. We watch how its DNA disintegrates and recombines, dispersing the essential elements for life on Earth. A star map is found in a cave by archaeology couple Elizabeth Shaw, Noomi Rapace, and Charlie Holloway, Logan Marshall Green, in the year 2089 on the Isle of Skye off the coast of Scotland. They documented among the remains of a number of otherwise unconnected ancient societies. They see this as an invitation from the ancestors of humanity. The USS Prometheus is a scientific deep space research vessel that was built with funding by Peter Weyland, Guy Pearce, the ailing founder and CEO of the Weyland Corporation. Its mission is to navigate to the far-off moon of LV-223, located many light-years from Earth. While the crew of the ship travels in cryogenic stasis at light speed, Michael Fassbender's android David watches over their whole journey from the pilot's seat. Note: LV-223 is not the same planet first shown in the 1979 film Alien. Rather, it is a nearby region of space, as Ridley Scott stated on Friday, June 1, on BBC Radio 5 Live. The ship docks at LV-223 in 2093. On LV-426, Alien takes place. The crew learns of their goal to locate the ancient aliens, called engineers, who may have created the human race after being roused from sleep. They also see a holographic message from Weyland, who informs them that he funded the project but has since passed away. Weyland also lets everyone know that the mission will be led by Charlie and Elizabeth. When the Prometheus enters the planet's atmosphere, it experiences turbulence, which passes once they can see the surface through the cloud cover. Shaw, Holloway, and David are part of the team that examines the alien building after the Prometheus lands nearby it. Vickers and Captain Yannick, Idris Elba, stay on the ship to keep an eye on their activities. They are instructed to avoid any direct contact and to return if the aliens are discovered by Mission Director Meredith Vickers, Charlize Theron. A space of breathable air is found inside the pyramid. They discover hundreds of cylinder-shaped objects, a monolithic statue of a humanoid head, and the headless body of a large extraterrestrial, believed to be one of the engineers, in a gloomy chamber that David unlocks. The species is assumed to be extinct when further carcasses are later discovered inside the building. They watch archival footage of holographic engineers sprinting down the hallways in response to a long-ago emergency. It's important to note that the engineers are dressed in the exact same biomechanical spacesuits that the dead alien space jockey wears in the crashed spaceship in the original Alien movie, establishing their shared extraterrestrial ancestry. While the other cylinders in the chamber start to leak a dark fluid as a result of the environment or temperature change when the chamber was opened, David stealthily returns a cylinder to the ship. Crewmen Milburn, Rafe Spall, and Fifield, Sean Harris, are left stranded in the pyramid construction after getting disoriented while trying to find a way out while the crew is forced to return to Prometheus due to an impending storm. David saves the couple when they are blown off the loading platform because Shaw insisted they take the engineer's head back to the ship with them. The pair barely makes it back alive. Shaw and the ship's Dr. Ford, Kate Dickey, examine the engineer's head while removing a bulky helmet with David's assistance. They find that it shares the same DNA as the human race. They momentarily revive the head by using an electric needle. The severed engineer's head, however, decomposes quickly and disintegrates when exposed to the breathable atmosphere. Later, when David opens the cylinder, he finds many ampules filled with a sticky, black fluid. The Prometheus crew debates the meaning of life. David, an android, wonders why he was made by humans, and Shaw, an infertile woman who is unable to conceive, examines her own existence. David secretes the material he discovered in the ampule on his finger and briefly dips it into a champagne glass to infect Holloway with it. Holloway has a drink in honor of their discovery. Shaw has sex with the sick Holloway afterwards. Later, when Holloway looks in a mirror, he notices that his eyes are rheumatic and that one of his corneas has sprouted a tiny, silver worm-like organism. Fifield and Milburn return to the building where they witness an odd snake-like thing emerge from a pool of the dark liquid that has seeped from the cylinders. When Milburn tries to investigate the object, it seizes his hand and quickly coils its arm around his, snapping it in two. When Fifield tries to stop it, one of the monster's corrosive fluids, yellow acidic blood, melt Fifield's helmet, leaving him exposed to the murky liquid spilling from the cylinders. Then, the thing pushes its way inside his suit and down his neck. The Prometheus crew returns to the building the following morning after the storm has passed. There, they discover Milburn's body. A room with a living engineer in stasis and a holographic star chart highlighting numerous far-off planetary systems is found by David. He sees the engineer's holograms turn on a navigation system. Earth finally appears as one of the planets. The hologram of Earth is left behind when the technology abruptly goes offline. In a nearby hibernation pod, David discovers a lone engineer and hears its heartbeat. Holloway is hurried back to the ship as the virus ravages his body quickly. Vickers refuses to let him on, citing quarantine procedures, despite his obvious decline. He approaches Vickers and begs her to kill him. She uses a flamethrower to burn him to death. Shaw is heartbroken. Shaw is pregnant despite being sterile, according to a medical scan. She is subdued by David in order to be sent back to Earth in stasis. Taking the cross her father had given her, he claims it might be defiled. She flees and, while still alive, utilizes an automated medical surgical pod in Vickers' quarters to remove a horrifying cephalopod-like thing from her tummy. It is discovered that Wayland had been in stasis on board the spacecraft, and it is made clear that Vickers is his child. Shaw is informed by Wayland that he plans to petition the engineers for assistance in preventing his impending death. Just outside the hangar bay, a mutant Fifield is found. He attacks, kills a number of crew men, and then kills himself. The engineers utilize the moon they are on as a military base up until they lost control of their biological weapons, specifically the cylinders and the black fluid they contain, according to Yannick's theory. The engineer is discovered to be inside of what is later revealed to be a spaceship, with a design similar to the abandoned alien spaceship featured in the 1979 film Alien, when the remaining crew members return to the building and awaken him. David asks the engineer in an alien tongue why they created humans and begs him to prolong the life of Mr. Wayland, his own creator. In response, the engineer rips off his head, murdering Wayland and Ford. As the engineer turns on the alien ship, Shaw flees from it. The still-going David speculates that the engineer will disperse the ampules of black fluid on Earth, eliminating all life as we know it. Shaw persuades Vickers to stop the engineer's ship despite Vickers' orders for Yannick to return to Earth. Vickers escapes in an escape pod as Yannick and his two remaining crewmen launch the Prometheus and collide with the engineer's spacecraft. Vickers is crushed when the crippled engineer's ship lands on the planet and crashes on it. Shaw narrowly avoids getting crushed. When Shaw visits the escape pod to get supplies, she discovers that the alien child she aborted but is still alive has grown to enormous proportions. After the crash, the engineer escapes and attacks Shaw, who then lets the tentacled monstrosity out. It chokes the engineer with an ovipositor to subjugate it. Until David contacts her and informs her that there are more engineers' spacecraft elsewhere on the planet, Shaw feels she is stuck on the planet. Together, they travel to and activate another engineer ship after she retrieves David's remains from the alien ship and returns the cross David had seized. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.